The air in Beirut hangs thick with smoke. The remnants of Israeli missiles litter the streets. A once vibrant city now cowers in fear. This is the stark reality of the escalating conflict in the Middle East. The recent Israeli airstrikes targeting Hezbollah positions in Lebanon have shaken the region. The strikes, a response to Hezbollah's attacks on Israeli territory, have intensified fears of a wider conflict. The situation is dire. The possibility of all-out war hangs heavy in the air. The world watches with bated breath as the situation unfolds. The conflict, already claiming innocent lives, threatens to spiral out of control. The international community scrambles for a solution, a way to quell the violence before it engulfs the entire region. The stakes are high. The consequence is too grave to comprehend. Hezbollah, the Iran-backed militant group, has vowed revenge. They have engaged in fierce ground combat with Israeli forces in southern Lebanon. The fighting is brutal, relentless. The clashes have resulted in casualties on both sides. The bloodshed only serves to deepen the cycle of violence, making a peaceful resolution seem like a distant dream. The world watches in horror as the death toll continues to climb. The situation in southern Lebanon is chaotic. Civilians are caught in the crossfire, their lives upended by the relentless fighting. The images coming out of the region are heart-wrenching. Families fleeing their homes, seeking refuge from the bombs and bullets. The world can only hope that sanity prevails, that the violence will cease before the entire region is consumed by the flames of war. Iran, a staunch ally of Hezbollah, has entered the fray. Tehran launched a barrage of ballistic missiles targeting strategic infrastructure within Israel. A bold and provocative act, it marks a significant escalation in the conflict. The missile attacks, while causing significant damage, have thankfully resulted in minimal loss of life. Israel's sophisticated Iron Dome defense system intercepted a significant number of the incoming projectiles. However, the message is clear. Iran will not stand idly by while its allies are under attack. The world holds its breath. Iran's direct involvement in the conflict raises the stakes exponentially. The potential for this conflict to spiral into a regional war, a conflagration that could engulf the entire Middle East, is a chilling possibility. The international community condemns Iran's actions, urging all parties to show restraint, but the calls for calm seem to fall on deaf ears. Section 4 Israel responds with force. Israel, never one to back down from a fight, has launched a fierce counter-offensive. Israeli Defense Forces, or IDF, have pushed into southern Lebanon, engaging in heavy fighting with Hezbollah militants. The ground invasion, a risky move by Israel, demonstrates their resolve to crush Hezbollah once and for all, but the terrain is treacherous, and Hezbollah fighters are dug in, ready to fight to the death. The international community watches with a mixture of apprehension and resignation. The fear is that Israel, in its quest for retribution, may inadvertently ignite a wider regional conflict. The situation is a powder keg, and one wrong move could set the entire Middle East ablaze. The world can only hope that cooler heads will prevail, that a path to peace can be found amidst the rubble and bloodshed. Section 5. Netanyahu's resolve. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, his face etched with determination, addressed the Israeli people. His message was clear. Israel will not tolerate aggression. He vowed to continue the offensive until Hezbollah is neutralized and the threat to Israeli security is eliminated. "We will not hesitate to use all means necessary to defend our people," Netanyahu declared, his voice unwavering. His words, while intended to reassure the Israeli public, did little to ease the growing sense of unease on the international stage. The world understands Israel's right to defend itself. However, many fear that Netanyahu's hardline stance, his unwavering commitment to military action, could have catastrophic consequences. The situation is precarious, and the world watches with bated breath, hoping that diplomacy, not firepower, will ultimately prevail. The fate of the Middle East, and perhaps the world, hangs in the balance. Section 6. The spectre of war. The spectre of a wider war in the Middle East looms large. The conflict, once a localized affair between Israel and Hezbollah, now threatens to draw in regional and global powers. The stakes have never been higher. The United States, a staunch ally of Israel, has pledged its unwavering support. However, President Biden has also made it clear that he does not support an Israeli strike on Iran's nuclear facilities. Such an action, he warns, could have devastating consequences. The world watches and waits, hoping against hope that a diplomatic solution can be found. The alternative, a full-blown war in the Middle East, is too terrifying to contemplate. The human cost, the economic devastation, the geopolitical fallout, it's a nightmare scenario that the world cannot afford. The path forward is fraught with danger. The coming days and weeks will be critical, The world can only hope that cooler heads will prevail, that peace, not war, will be the ultimate victor. The alternative is too grim to imagine.